Hi everyone, welcome back to another 15-minute build. Since last time we did finish this lower portion of the temple, that's the tunnel section, connecting Dragon Vale and then the city we're going to eventually work on. So that's complete. We'll give a little tour of that a little bit later, but let's actually work on the 15-minute build for today, and that's the upper portion of this temple. I was going to say stronghold. So this is what I got laid out so far. It's just kind of like a rough shell, so I mean, we still got a lot to do, but anyway, let's get right into it. So we're going to start with finishing up these pillars that I've been working on. So I've for the most part lit up this area so we could try to avoid mobs, and what I mean by that is like the interior of the section. So I think we'll be okay for a while. But what I wanted to mention was, so I think I said I wanted to place statues probably within this structure. So that's what I laid out these two platforms here for. And that's why this like temple is so high. We're gonna have to make like a pretty big roof. And before I made this, I had to lay it out on a whiteboard because I couldn't figure out exactly how I wanted to lay it out. So I think this is gonna turn out pretty good. But anyway, let's just move on to the next pillar. I did need to grab quite a substantial amount of sandstone to do this. So if you're looking to replicate something similar to this, be prepared to grab a lot of sandstone. And I know there is a worthwhile consideration to maybe we should have given some more block variety. But I like how this looks. It's kind of like just chiseled out of the sand. And so what I was thinking about doing as kind of a oh, I forgot to place torches on here. Let me not do that because I've been bad at doing that at some of the other builds we've had, and I would like to have the torches on here placed. Oh, it's not right. But for the statues, what I'm thinking about doing is placing kind of I've been meaning to use all the copper blocks that I have, and I have a ton of them, and I think that's probably the best way we can do it. And what I like about copper in this game, and it's worth considering if you're doing a kind of project like this, is that, you know, since copper oxidizes, it has tons of oxidation states. I would say it's probably one of the few blocks in Minecraft that actually lets you kind of have a sense of age to your Minecraft world. So that's why I think we're going to use those for these statues here. And I also think that it brings up a good point. So I took art history. I might have mentioned this before. I took art history well, I guess I don't know if it was last semester, maybe the semester before that. And I also already forgot another torch. And one of the things we talked about was we were talking about Greek and Roman statues. That was, you know, it was that particular class was like antiquity to Roman time, or no, it was antiquity to all the way up to like before the Renaissance. And we spent a lot of time talking about how like the Romans were very much inspired by the Greeks, but also a lot of Greek statues were, there was a lot of statues that were marble, found in Rome, or in the Roman Empire, and most of them were based off of bronze casts done in Greece that were eventually smelted down and used for like armaments and war. But we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna smelt down what's left of history over here. So we will go sleep though, because I would prefer if mobs didn't try to shoot at me while I was trying to build up this structure. But and then once we get sleep, then I'll talk about that path out there. I did go through the effort to path out and kind of figure out how big we're gonna make that desert village. I think it's gonna be a reasonable size, but we'll see. And still on the topic of history, I did get to enroll in classes today for college, and I for my capstone history course, basically, I'm taking a global history of baseball. Oh, that's gonna be very exciting. I got into all the other classes I actually need to be enrolled in, but that's beside the point. So I think these pillars are looking pretty good, so we just need to get a couple more of these stairs placed. And I'm trying to think. Okay, so the path to the desert village. I always have I always have a collection of notes over here because I can't ever stay organized with what I want to talk about. But so that desert village over there, or this path to it anyway, it's gonna be a reasonable size. The walls that we have, like I think they're gonna stretch out from this base here and kind of extend out all the way up to that village. And I have the path completed, but there was something I wanted to pose a question to you as well. Is I so okay, real. Let's let's not get distracted. We'll come back to those things that I wanted to show when we get there. But anyway, I wanted to say, so we have that tunnel down there, right? That's that one stairway over there. And then I have this other stairway to keep it mirrored. But I don't actually know if we're going to make it go to as a stairway to anything. So I guess that's my question to you, is if we should make it go somewhere, if I should keep it as... My original plan is to keep it kind of sunken in so that, you know, it is... We can keep the idea of it still being a ruin, but for the most part, it's practically usable. But anyway, so that's that one. We're going to need some more torches. We never have enough things crafted beforehand, but, and you know, it is what it is. And we'll just do another one over here. I gotta make sure these are centered. And basically, okay, so what I did with these sides, because these pillars are down a little bit lower. I can't believe I forgot that one. Is these are high enough so that mobs can't actually walk in, because I basically only want to have to wall in the city portion. And you know, as a reminder, that city over there, we're gonna call it Redbird, and it's gonna be it's definitely gonna be a kingdom status, so that means it's probably gonna be about 40 villagers. And so that's what that means, is we need we're only gonna be building 2 to 3 story houses. That's the only acceptable option. And okay, so here's what I'm thinking, because I guess it's important to establish lore reasons for why this place exists, or kind of like a purpose for it. So, well, actually, let me craft some more stairs. But as I'm talking about that, basically my idea for this, you know, I think we brought this up before. This world is interconnected. I want to tell like kind of like a bigger picture story with it. So this village over here, this temple over here, is a part of the larger world, and by that, it's, you know, like it's the same religion as the other kingdoms that we've built. But this is, you know, since this is like the I might have mentioned it before. I definitely did. We have a trail ruin I'm working on excavating, and that's for the Atta tori Nord culture, we're calling it. So that's this area over here. The village that I have is, so that's the kingdom of Wulvlox, those other villages. Those are Atta tori Sud, I guess is the way to think about it. I'm like being like super specific. But basically the idea for that is, at some point these cultures split off. I like to leave that abstracted. It's like that's what I like about history, okay? I'm sure I've mentioned this as like a million asides, but I like history because there's lots of gaps, right? We have, for the most part, especially what I mean by this is ancient history, right? For the most part, we have a pretty good picture of what ancient history was like, but we don't have like a concrete, like there's still a good amount of gaps. We still have gaps in that knowledge. That's why I like making my Minecraft world like kind of more, I think we're in like the 600s, if this is going based off of dates. So, you know, we're just a little more ancient, but it's all right. It's all right. So I wanted to turn these into sandstone stairs, no, walls. That's what I want to turn them into. So we're at least gonna finish this portion. I like the use of pots. If I can find more pottery sherds, I will probably swap them out, but I just don't have any more on me, so I'm sure I'll get more once I excavate that trail ruin, and that's when I'll bring them over here. But for now, this will be okay. I don't think we're going to excavate underneath there, because I think that's going to be kind of boring. So the next thing we're going to do is start working on the roof. And I have a couple of ideas for this. And so I mentioned I planned this out on a whiteboard. But also, while I was doing this, I realized that because I was thinking about doing either no roof or, you know, just like leaving so either a ruined roof, leaving it like this, or and I came up with a better approach, which is to make an actual roof. But so I'm just trying to craft up all the resources we need. Some more stairs probably. And well, we're obviously this is gonna be a very big project. So this is a mega project, obviously. So it's gonna be a while before we finish this, but I do want to at least make some concerted effort towards it. So what we want to do here is we're just gonna place an overhang block, like this, and we're gonna lose that. Gonna lose that, and so it's gonna overhang one on either side, and basically it's just gonna be a solid roof for the most part. But there's one exception to this, and so this is what I'm thinking is we make it so that when we actually get to the center portion of this roof, or sorry, when we're putting in like the fill for each side, these sides here, we actually leave a little bit of a portion out. We chisel a little out, and we put some sort of symbol, probably representing this temple, religion, whatever. And I think that will look pretty cool, and it will make it look just a little less like a giant solid block on top of this temple. And there's another stair block lost. I don't want to fall down to grab it. It's not worth it. And okay, we're at the 12-minute mark. As promised, once we're past that 15-minute mark, I'll actually, can I place these things at a reasonable amount of time? I guess the plan is, I wish I would stop saying so many uhs and ums. I guess the plan is, at some point, most likely, I will do more of some of this off screen, just because it's definitely going to be a big effort and just take a while. But you know, if you don't want that, like I said, I was considering streaming at some point, but it's really hard to record YouTube videos because my sister's here most of the time. She's like maybe not the most supportive person. So we have that. Okay, so I guess, yes, this is what I want to do. I want to make sure that I place blocks like that on the interior, and I guess the same on the exterior, so that we can have. So we want it to look pretty good on the we want it to look good all around. I mean, that makes sense. But so I guess I'm gonna need a lot more sandstone stairs, and I guess let's see what else I have written down here. I don't know. And I placed a stair block wrong. Okay, I guess just as like, what's been going on. I've taken a break from Ghost Adventures. I can't stomach it anymore. Well, maybe not that. It's maybe not that. Just like, I've binged like 10 seasons of it. Maybe I just need a little break. So I'm watching the original few seasons of Storm Chasers, and I think I watched them when I was younger, but it's been a long time, and I don't remember. They're not what I remember them being like. So maybe I just haven't gotten to the seasons that I watched the most when I was younger. But I definitely think that like Reed Timmer has not changed that much. Still an amazing guy. Still a great personality. I'm glad he's still around. And okay, so let's do this. But the other chaser, who's Sean Casey. Yeah, he's just a little much maybe. Well, I mean, mad respect for him for chasing storms for that long, just chasing for tornadoes for that long to get some video footage is mad respect. And did I place that wrong? I don't think that I want that block. I want this one. And then okay, so it's gonna be nighttime, so let's. Okay, I'm glad this armor negates. Does my armor do I have feather falling boots? Okay. Oh yeah, I do. Okay. So we're at the 15-minute mark. I think we're just gonna sleep real quick, and then I'm gonna give you a tour of what I finished up for this tunnel down here last time. So so like I said, I mentioned we're going to be using a lot of copper blocks. I like the idea of them showing their age, so that's kind of what we have here. These are kind of just like piles of copper is what I was going for. And there's still some waiting for them to oxidize, but we have some pots as well. But as you run down here, I don't know if I did this last time, but I wanted to mention it. So I had these piles of sand, you know, coming to fill in what was left, or, you know, showing that there's been ruin here. But I wanted to make sure I pointed this out before. I don't think I had these like stair blocks. So we have these stair blocks coming out as like this has been like decayed or whatever. And then the sand is actually coming all the way through. But as we run all the way down, there's lots of chests and stuff from me finishing up constructing this. But you know, that's what it is. And they're like, we are full of cobblestone resources. So I think we'll be doing plenty of building of houses at our other kingdoms. But anyway, as we go into like, most of these rooms are pretty similar, but we have like a statue to each god, if you will, made out of well, these are kind of like really small figures, but it's made out of copper, of course. And then we have like engravings and sandstone. I really like this idea, and I know I said it before, atmospheric storytelling, love it. And that's why we have this. There's no words, there's nothing telling you what this says. It's just a bunch of random engravings. You know it's probably supposed to be words, same over here, right? You know it's probably supposed to be words, but what it means is up to you. And that's what I like, is you just come in here and you're just like, well, I can see that this is a ruin. I can see that there's some statues, some figures, and there's some words. And then, you know, we have the signs, of course, which kind of guide you, but for the most part, it's not, you know, it's not in your, I don't want just like signs everywhere just being like, this is this and this and this and this. Like, that's not fun. But yeah, these are most of these rooms. Well, they're all the same. And there we go. And then we have our connection between both paths. I'm going to keep working on the other portion of the village, or sorry, the other portion of the village. I'm going to keep working on the temple as we go. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next 15-minute builds. Have a good night.